Charles Gai Eaton, the British diplomat and Islamic author.
Imagine a man trained at the very highest echelons of Western academia, navigating the elite inner circles of the British Foreign Service, who hiddenly harbored a profound spiritual secret. How did an agnostic child, raised in complete isolation from religion, transform into one of the most brilliant and influential Islamic thinkers of the modern West? This is the story of a diplomat who walked the quiet corridors of global geopolitical power while simultaneously exploring the deepest mystical valleys of Eastern spirituality.
Welcome to Global Mystery Nexus. I am your host, Shahid Shiraim Hosani, and today we explore the extraordinary double life of a man torn between two entirely different worlds. Before we move forward, I have a quick request. If you enjoy this video and want to support the channel, please hit the like button, share it, and subscribe, so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive in.
Our journey begins in Lausanne, Switzerland, where Charles Gai Eaton was born in 1921. Raised by parents who were staunch agnostics, Eaton grew up completely isolated from any religious or spiritual thoughts. His early life followed the classic path of the high-ranking British elite, studying at the prestigious Charterhouse School and later at King's College, Cambridge. He was a multi-talented man of the world, experimenting with acting, university lecturing, and journalism. Yet underneath this polished, highly secular exterior, a deep existential hunger was quietly growing. He found modern Western society to be fragmented and disconnected from the sacred. He saw a world obsessed with material progress but entirely hollowed out of deep spiritual meaning. To his peers, he was a sophisticated intellectual destined for a conventional career. But in reality, Eaton was searching for something that the modern West could not provide. He began searching for an anchor, a unified vision of human existence that could bridge the visible world with the unseen realm. The major turning point came when his work as a teacher and journalist took him to Jamaica and eventually to Egypt. It was in Cairo during the early 1950s that Eaton experienced a profound internal shift. Surrounded by the daily rhythm of traditional Islamic life, the call to prayer echoing across the ancient city, and the deep, uncomplicated faith of ordinary people, his intellectual defenses began to crumble. He found himself drawn not just to the outward practices of Islam, but to its deep mystical core, specifically Sufism. In 1951, Charles Gai Eaton made a choice that would redefine his entire destiny. He secretly embraced Islam, adopting the name Hassan Abdul Hakim. However, shortly after this monumental transformation, he formally joined the official British diplomatic service. For more than 2 decades, he served Her Majesty's government as a diplomat, stationed in places as diverse as India, Ghana, and Trinidad. He was a British official representing Western political interests by day, but a devoted Muslim scholar exploring the eternal truths of the Quran by night. How did he manage to balance these two seemingly incompatible identities without raising suspicion? After retiring from the diplomatic service in 1977, Eaton's hidden life came fully into the light. He became a consultant to the Islamic Cultural Center in London and emerged as a towering literary figure. In 1985, he published his masterpiece, Islam and the Destiny of Man, a book that would become a definitive guide for Westerners trying to understand the Muslim faith. Eaton did not preach. Instead, he used his unmatched command of the English language to explain Islam as a profound, living reality. He argued that religion is not an isolated component of human life, but the very foundation of human consciousness. He was deeply critical of modern society's alienation and urged Western Muslims to build a unique British Islamic identity rather than copying foreign cultures. He was an unapologetic Englishman who loved his country, yet he was also a passionate advocate for the timeless truths of Islam. Until his death in 2010, he remained a fascinating enigma, a man who successfully bridged the gap between the British establishment and the Islamic world. Beyond his literary contributions, Eaton played a vital behind-the-scenes role in establishing institutional foundations for Muslims in the West. In 1996, he served on the specialized committee that drafted the initial constitution of the Muslim Council of Britain. He frequently encountered friction and intellectual challenges, as he remained highly critical of mainstream, reactionary British Muslim opinions of his era. For instance, regarding major geopolitical conflicts like the invasion of Iraq, he expressed deep, complex internal dilemmas, famously noting that Muslims themselves should have dealt with their own internal tyrants rather than relying on Western intervention. He consistently advocated for a balanced approach, warning against cultural isolation and calling for Muslims to establish deep roots within their home nations. His unique status as both a retired British diplomat and a revered Islamic authority gave him an unparalleled perspective, allowing him to challenge both Western misconceptions about Islam and Muslim misconceptions about Western culture. His legacy survives through his profound writings, which continue to inspire countless truth-seekers worldwide.
How does a man survive a life split perfectly between two opposite worldviews without losing his soul? For Charles Gai Eaton, the answer lay in absolute sincerity.
He lived in the highest echelons of secular power, yet his heart remained anchored in the remembrance of the divine. He proved that an individual could be entirely integrated into Western society while remaining fiercely loyal to an Islamic spiritual path. His life challenges the popular modern narrative that the West and the Muslim world are locked in an inevitable clash of civilizations. Instead, his entire journey stands as a living testament to the fact that truth knows no geographic boundaries, and that the ultimate human quest is not for political dominance, but for internal peace and spiritual realization. Today, his voice remains more relevant than ever, offering a steady, intellectual path through a world increasingly dominated by noise, materialism, and division.
He remains the ultimate diplomat, not just between nations, but between the human soul and its eternal creator. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe our Global Mystery Nexus channel for more informative videos.